Hello, I am Mystic Orange and this is video hashtag 529. In this video I'll be talking about 16 season 1 episode 7. It's called the 5 finger discount. It seems like it's going to be a Jen-centric episode. In the first scene of this episode, we're at the lemon squeeze. They're all sitting together just as friends. Anyway, Jonesy said few things that have so many things to say about. First of all, he mentions that he has a job, it's called That's the Beat, which is cool, but then he brags about how his friends could wish to be him. I thought that was funny considering that he gets fired all the time, and I'm thinking on their perspective they wouldn't want to be wished to be him. But then I kind of see his point, like he does go after jobs that, he's probably gonna enjoy. But I think the other guys, they're stuck with the jobs that they don't like. Especially Nikki, who has khaki on. However, I think Jude asked a really good question for this show. How does Jonesy get so many new jobs, even though he gets fired in each one of them? And Jonesy gives a simple answer. He just lies on his resume. Or he could just leave out the fact that he's been fired to many jobs in his next jobs. Although, even though this would be true in real life, getting a new job is still a hard thing to do because there's still like a hiring process they go through, and I think that's kind of tricky to do. I don't know how it works in Canada, but in the UK it's kind of tricky to do. And even if you did get hired, it's very unlikely you'll be hired on the spot. In the next scene, we get two new characters. It's Crystal and Blade. They don't show up a lot in this show. I don't have strong opinions on them. I don't find them all that interesting. Although I'd say I like Blade more. He's the one with the brown hair, and Crystal is the one with the blonde hair. I like Crystal more because he's more good looking, and I think he's a better voice actor. They present themselves as cool guys. Anyway, they asked Jonesy if they could go skydiving because he did lie about that in his resume. Anyway, seeing Jonesy getting nervous and getting scared, that was a funny scene for me. I love how his friends though make his fear worse. I thought it was harmless and just a little bit of fun. Anyway, since he's good at lying, I suppose he could make up a lie to avoid that. Maybe tell his co-workers that his parents are sick or something, I don't know. In the next scene, Jonesy shows off his job to his friends. So at the That's the Beep, they sell cool home gadgets. Wyatt wonders how That's the Beep is different from Stereo Shack, because Jonesy makes fun of nerds and geeks, which is a valid question coming from Wyatt. And to be honest with you, I bet there's not much different because I think they probably sell the same things in Stereo Shack that they do in here. Like for example, they sell X-ray glasses. I'm sure they sell that in Stereo Shack as well. Basically, That's the Beep is a Stereo Shack with an inflated ego. Anyway, I thought some scenes were fun. First of all, Jonesy shows a juice machine that tans him. I thought that was a fun thing, and I wish I had something like that. But I bet that machine is kind of dangerous because in order to have tan, you would need UV. So I bet it's not safe. And the next scene, Wyatt wears like an X-ray glasses, and he sees Jude in his skeleton, and then he freaks out, which was funny. And a few minutes later, Jude is so stoned he gets attracted to a leather chair. And to be fair, the leather chair is like a remote control talking chair. So basically, it can vibrate him and talk to him at the same time. So basically, it's Alexa if she was a chair. Jude must be so brain dead if that's how he is. In the next scene, we see Jan coming towards the gang. She's talking about Caitlin. She's kind of fussed about Caitlin giving free drinks to her friends. Apparently, it's a new star policy in the Big Squeeze. Also, another thing, according to Caitlin, it's been 4 weeks when she's been working in the other Big Squeeze. So, in my calculations, the first episode has to be about like August or September. That's where they mention like summer jobs or something, and I bet it's like in the holidays where they pick the like summer jobs. I think I'm trying to wrap my head around like it's in Canada, so um, their holiday may be different to ours, but in the UK, our summer holiday is in like August. So I suspect that episode was in August. So this current episode has to be about like September or October. At least end of September and start of October. But apparently in America, their summer break finishes in August, at least in the midweek. I do not know about holidays in other countries, so I'm just basing off what I know from the UK. Anyway, bear in mind that like it's October or September right now for in this show. I'm mentioning this right now because of the timeline in 16. In the future, you'll know like the timeline is kind of like messed up in this show. So anyway, like I said before, Jen comes to the other gang members. She reports back to them about what Caitlin did. So basically, Caitlin's policy is like she gives away free drinks to her friends. Okay, and Jen is kind of worried that Caitlin would get fired for this. I know this is kind of meta, but if I had to be like watching the show overall, I wouldn't be worried about Caitlin getting fired. Like we barely see Big Steve around, so like whatever she does, like it doesn't really impact anything. But also, how would Caitlin get fired for this? Like if it's a policy, like her friends can get free drinks, um, that's not a bad thing. Like it's only 5 of them, and Caitlin could stock more like lemons and other equipments so she could get more lemonades. But however, just to in case like her friends don't take advantage of this policy, I would suggest for Caitlin to like maybe give them one drink a day or something. Just in case she doesn't run out of stock. So in a way I kind of like agree and disagree with Jan. So in the end, I think the most important thing is like Caitlin is wise about her policies. But I do think like Jen's friends are kind of bad influence. I kind of see that point though. Like they only steal like small things from their shops. So basically, they take little risks about the stealing. But still, I think this is kind of like a bad influence on Jen. It's also interesting that like Nikki agrees with this, despite not liking things from Kakibon. I also find it interesting what she says afterwards. Like I think it was meant to be a joke, but like she's giving us socks to Wyatt for his birthday. I think that's kind of foreshadowing. In the next scene, we see Jan unpacking new jackets for the store. She wears it and it looks really good on her. In the next scene, we see Carson, the cutest boy in the mall, checking out Jen. Subjectively speaking though, but he isn't half bad. Sometimes I would give props to the animator sometimes. But it seems like Carson is attracted to Jen because of the jacket. In the next scene, Josie and Wyatt finally find Jude making out with a chair. If I was them, I would leave him alone, like he's not harming anyone. But then again, like Josie would get fired for this, so yeah. But it is weird that Jude is making out with a chair. It makes me think of these like videos where I would watch people having addiction to different weird objects. I think it's called objectophilia. I watched that game's video on a guy who's attracted to a car. So, that's where I learnt it from. I will share it in my community tab. In the next scene, Jude describes his leather armchair girlfriend to his friends. To quote him, he thinks Betty is soft and comfortable, smart and beautiful. So I guess Betty makes him happy. I guess it's not normal because, someone might sell that for him. I guess the best thing they could do is don't judge him, which is what they do the whole episode. But let me know what you think. What if one of your friends was attracted to a leather chair? How would you feel? In the next scene, we meet our new character. Her name is Star. She is the coolest character ever. She's one of my favorites. First of all, I love her design. I love her ginger hair, her outfits. She looks so cool. I also love her personality. She thinks things outside the box, which I wish everyone else had this trait. In the next scene in the episode, Josie and Jen hang out together by the water fountain. So it seems like Josie comes up with a lie for that skydiving thing. It's a terrible lie, but at least he is lying. And it seems like lying works for him. His lie was his dog died or something. I'd say that's a good one. Anyway, Jen spots a girl wearing that jacket. She's so tempting to buy it. And it seems like Carson is impressed when she wears it. Anyway, Josie tries to convince Jen to steal it. In the next scene, Jen daydreams about kissing Carson while she was wearing her jacket. And a few moments later, Coach Holder snaps her out of it, and it seems like Jen is kissing her shoe. In my opinion, I thought that was funny. It seems like Josie's words got into Jen's head because she actually stole the jacket. Why would you listen to Josie? In the next scene, Josie shows off his talent to this old lady. He turned the music so loud, he blew her hair off. I thought it was a funny scene. Apparently to his co-worker, that's another lie he put in his resume. If I was Josie, I would just test out each button and tell them what each button does. I think he could have gotten away with that. But it was funny. And it's not me teaching you how to lie better. In the next scene, Jude is still obsessing over this chair thing. And Caitlin walks in on him. Jude must look crazy in front of others, right? But what I like about Jude is that he doesn't care what people think of him. I wish to have his confidence. And to him, his friends are too judgmental. And to his defense, it's not like he's hurting anyone, so why rain on his parade? In the next scene at the penalty box, Coach Holder finds out that one of the jacket is missing, so he calls in Ron the rent-a-cop. She better do something fast or she'll be in jail. In the next scene, Jen explains her situation to the gang. She wants them to help her bring back the jacket to the store. And the next bit made me respect Jen. When I was a kid, I used to not like her because I thought she was bossy. But now I'm more older, I can see how her friends are so toxic. I just don't like how little they care about Jen. If she doesn't return the jacket on time or whatever, she would be in jail. And they are the reasons why Jen is in the situation. So, her feelings are valid. So I'm glad that she's raging at them. They needed a wake-up call. In the next scene, Nikki and Wyatt try to find a girl for Jude. I think it's so to let him get mind off the chair. But this bit I found funny. Just the girl's reaction to where Jude is crying over a chair. Anyway, they sold Betty. In the next scene, the gang help Jen evade authority and bring back the jacket. I thought it was funny when Nikki pushed Josie into a fountain. In the next scene, Jen gets busted by Coach Holder, and they all are put in the penalty box. I mean, they did help Jen do this. And a few seconds later, Josie gets fired for stealing a pen. I mean, the job's not worth it if that's the reason they fire you. In the next scene, they're back at the big squeeze. Jen orders her lemonade from Caitlin. However, she didn't have enough change, so Caitlin already prepared the lemonade for her. So when she found out, she was about to give it for free. I think Jen needs to chill a bit because I get it. She was about to give it you free, but like maybe count your allowances first before like ordering your drink. And she was at the end as soon as they got a new chair. Jude finally finds a new girl. Her name is Star, and it's one of the most healthiest and the best relationships on 16. And it's one of my favorite relationships on 16. Like, there's no drama behind it, they're all chill together. I do have a problem with this relationship down the line, but as for the most part, Jude and Star are just perfect. I think that's it for this video. Just to summarize, I think my favorite part about this episode is probably the ending. It's the start of a whole beautiful relationship between Jude and Star. And my least favorite thing about this episode is how the gang did not support Jen to like bring back the jacket, especially coming from Nikki. Anyways, if you enjoyed this video, make sure to subscribe and have a lovely day.